Welcome to 5-Star English. Today we step into a fairy tale world to make your English more magical and enchanting. Today we'll learn 15 charming fairy tale expressions divided into beginner, intermediate and advanced levels so you can speak more colorful and playful English. Each level includes clear meanings, sample sentences to practice, and a role-play adventure at the end to use these idioms in real conversation. First phrase is happily ever after. Happily ever after. This idiom describes a happy ending after challenges or a storybook finish. Now let's look at a couple sample sentences. You can practice saying the sentence also.
They saved the kingdom and lived happily ever after.
After the long struggle, finding a steady job felt like happily ever after for her.
The phrase is cry wolf. Cry wolf. This idiom means to give a false alarm so people stop believing you. Fun fact. It comes from Aesop-style fables about a shepherd who lied too often.
He kept joking about monsters and eventually everyone ignored him when he actually needed help. He had cried wolf.
If you keep making false promises at work, people will think you are crying wolf and stop trusting you.
The phrase is open sesame. Open sesame. This idiom refers to a magical password that reveals treasure or opens secrets. Quick fun fact. It comes from the story of Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves.
She whispered open sesame and the secret panel in the library slid aside to reveal a map.
In meetings, he always has an idea that acts like open sesame to solving problems.
The phrase is magic touch. Magic touch. This idiom describes someone who can improve things easily or make them succeed. Quick fun fact. People sometimes call great cooks or designers magic because of this.
Her renovation had the magic touch and the room looked amazing afterward.
Whenever he cooks, he adds the magic touch that makes everyone ask for seconds.
The phrase is dream come true. Dream come true. This idiom means a long-held wish or goal has become reality. Quick fun fact. People often use this for both big life moments and small joyful surprises.
Getting that scholarship felt like a dream come true for her family.
The surprise trip to the old castle was a dream come true for him.
The phrase is kiss the frog. Kiss the frog. This idiom means to try something or someone that seems unlikely but might turn into something great. Quick fun fact. It comes from fairy tales where a kiss changes a frog into a prince.
She decided to kiss the frog and try the new job even though it seemed risky.
Sometimes you have to kiss the frog in dating to find the right person.
The phrase is fairy godmother. Fairy godmother. This idiom refers to a helpful person who appears and gives support or lucky breaks. Quick fun fact. People sometimes call mentors fairy godmothers when they open important doors.
Her mentor acted like a fairy godmother and connected her with the perfect contact.
He saw her as a fairy godmother who helped him pay for school when times were tough.
The phrase is castle in the air. Castle in the air. This idiom describes fanciful plans or dreams that are unlikely to happen. Quick fun fact. It's often used to gently warn someone to be realistic.
His plan to become a movie star overnight felt like a castle in the air.
Building a business without a plan is just a castle in the air.
The phrase is knight in shining armor. Knight in shining armor. This idiom means a person who dramatically helps or rescues someone in need. Quick fun fact. Modern usage can be ironic when someone wants a helper, not a hero.
When her laptop crashed, he was the knight in shining armor who fixed it before her deadline.
She waited for a knight in shining armor, but realized her friends and family were the real support.
The phrase is fairy tale ending. Fairy tale ending. This idiom refers to a storybook perfect ending where everything turns out wonderfully. Quick fun fact. People use it for weddings, promotions, or any picture-perfect outcome.
The surprise proposal created a real fairy tale ending to their trip.
After years of struggle, the small company finally had its fairy tale ending when it was acquired by a caring partner.
The phrase is emperor's new clothes. Emperor's new clothes. This idiom describes a situation where people pretend to admire something obvious but untrue. Quick fun fact. The phrase comes from Hans Christian Andersen's famous tale about truth and pride.
The meeting felt like the emperor's new clothes, with everyone praising an idea that had no real plan.
She didn't want to point out the obvious problem because she feared being the voice like the child in the emperor's new clothes story.
The phrase is Midas touch. Midas touch. This idiom means having an almost magical ability to make profitable or successful results. Quick fun fact. It refers to King Midas, who turned everything he touched into gold.
Investors loved his startup because he seemed to have the Midas touch for product launches.
Be careful wishing for the Midas touch because sometimes it comes with unexpected costs.
The phrase is Pandora's box. Pandora's box. This idiom refers to an action that unleashes many unforeseen troubles. Quick fun fact. In Greek myth, Pandora opened a jar and released evils into the world.
Asking too many questions about the old contract opened Pandora's box of legal issues.
Be careful sharing that old message. It might open Pandora's box of drama.
The phrase is spin straw into gold. Spin straw into gold. This idiom means to turn something of little value into something valuable by skill or cleverness. Quick fun fact. It echoes the tale of Rumpelstiltskin and clever trades.
With creativity, she could spin straw into gold using cheap materials to craft bestsellers.
A good manager can spin straw into gold by improving team morale and results.
The phrase is glass slipper moment. Glass slipper moment. This idiom means a decisive moment when the perfect match or truth becomes clear. Quick fun fact. It comes from Cinderella, where the slipper reveals the true bride.
When the interview went perfectly, it felt like her glass slipper moment, and she knew the job was hers.
Finding the right mentor was his glass slipper moment that changed his career path. Now, let's test your understanding of the idioms. Choose the correct word that goes in the blank. In this example, the sun rises in the morning, so the answer is C, sun. Okay, let's get started. After all their problems were solved, the storybook couple lived blank. He kept shouting about dangers that weren't real, so nobody believed him when the real emergency came because he had blank. When she whispered the secret phrase, the chest popped open, as if she had said blank. Everything he repaired looked brand new. Customers said he seemed to have the blank. Getting the lead role in the musical was a blank for her after years of practice. She had to be brave and blank to see if the awkward colleague would turn into someone special. When the lost child suddenly found a helpful stranger who paid for her ticket, she felt like meeting a blank. She drew blueprints for a business that depended on impossible profit margins. It was a blank. When her car broke down and a helpful stranger fixed it and paid her tow, she joked he was her blank. After months of struggle, the underdog team's championship felt like a real blank. The CEO promoted a failing product that everyone praised out of fear, which critics later called him blank. The investor seemed to have the blank. Every company he backed became profitable quickly. Publishing those private emails opened a blank of scandals that the company couldn't control. The designer managed to blank with leftover fabric, creating a runway-worthy outfit from scraps. When her speech matched the employer's exact need, she had a blank and got the job on the spot.
That concludes our magical idioms lesson. Now you can sprinkle fairy tale phrases into everyday English. If you enjoyed this lesson, hit subscribe for more 5-star English, and thanks for watching.